Last night, there was another Republican presidential primary debate, and just like the other ones, it was bad. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video. Today, it is time that we talk about the 2024 Republican presidential primary. Because everyone, last night we had the third GOP debate, and it was bad. It was boring. There was a lot of garbage answers. It was just pathetic. It was bad. Now, not as bad as the prior debates, but still, it's like, this is who's potentially going to be the future of the GOP after Trump. Only like 2 or 3 of the candidates did a decent job. The other ones were just, I don't know what reality you live in, but sure, go ahead. Now, before we continue with today's postmortem, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody. Now, let me be clear, alright? I personally believe Vivek Ramaswamy won the debate. I don't care what the New York Times, their garbage ratings for Vivek is 0. Vivek, when you listen to what he said, gave the best responses of the night. The ones that are in touch with the base, in touch with reality. I will also say, surprisingly, Chris Christie did decent. When he doesn't talk about Trump, you can disagree with Christie a lot, but at least you can understand where he's coming from on most of his stances. I still think he's horrible in foreign policy, but not as bad as Nikki Haley. Oh boy. And Tim Scott. Listen, drop out. After those responses last night by Nikki Haley even to Tim Scott, if you somehow became the nominee, you would get wiped out in Wisconsin, in Michigan, in Pennsylvania. Hell, Ohio would be in play. This isn't the year 2004. This is the year 2023. People don't want more wars. And these idiots, that's what they want. They want more wars. But we'll get to it. Let's go in this article. It does a good job going over the key moments of the debate. So one part that really stood out for me is Ramaswamy. This guy was on fire. Perfect response after perfect response. He attacked the moderators right away saying, hey, you guys, why should you be hosting this debate when you lied about the Trump-Russia collusion hoax? Why? But it was perfect. And he even attacked Biden a lot. He said, Biden is not going to be the Democrat nominee. Which came out of nowhere, but when you start thinking about it, I guess there is a legitimate theory to it that Democrats don't want Biden. Now, I think Biden will still be the nominee, but when you have like the former chief of staff for Obama saying, oh yeah, Joe Biden should drop out, he's too old. You got Tim Ryan in Ohio saying the same thing. It's like, okay, what's going on here? Personally, I think they try to get rid of Biden, but they're kind of stuck with him. Because, funny enough, he's their best shot of winning next year. Because he is an incumbent, despite being hated. He still is an incumbent president, which does give him some benefits, I guess. And also, he does still have some kind of appeal to Michigan, Pennsylvania, etc. But I'm really surprised by Ramaswamy. I don't know if he 100% believes it, but, you know, he understands the base at least. He understands what the base wants to hear. He understands what voters want. Not what Nikki Haley did, which was, we'll get to what Haley did. That was just pathetic. Now, abortion. Once again, these maroons don't understand the issue. Nikki Haley completely flip-flopped on the issue. 100%. And you look at this, she like praise pro-choice people saying, oh, we have to be friends with them. It's like, wait, what? A lot of the pro-choice people hate your guts and we gotta be best friends with them? This logic is just baffling. I don't judge anyone for being pro-choice, and I don't want them to judge me for being pro-life. I understand that abortion you have to have a fine line to, but really? And now it's like, oh, suddenly she's against any kind of national ban, but it's like, well, no Republican will get 60 Senate votes. Okay, attack Democrats with that then. This is just baffling to me. You just say you want to restrict late-term abortion federally. However, Democrats are going to stop that. Late term. Not just, a heartbeat. No. A month before the baby's going to be born, abortion will be legal. And they support that. That's all you got to say. And she doesn't do that. She just said, oh, well, no Republican president gets 60 Senate votes. This is what's happening. That's the same thing that happened to gay marriage. Republicans, they just, back off on it. When they lose one court decision, they just give up. Or I should say that, but they just give up on the issue. They just fall like a freaking bunch of peons. Just they fold up and they said, well, it's over. We have to just let Democrats do what they want. When there's been several polls done, when you change the terminology of your position from 20-week ban to ban after the first trimester or after 3 months, the support for abortion goes down dramatically when you say trimester or months. I proved this, by the way. Last night's stream, I put it up the Gallup poll compared to, it was an AP poll. When you said weeks, abortion was more popular than when you said trimester. That's all you gotta freaking say. And then Tim Scott keeps going with the 15-week ban. Yeah, that worked real well in Virginia. Which I don't think Virginia that was 100% abortion, but that really didn't work as planned. Just not good. And Haley also had her freaking blunder after blunder with entitlement reform. Do you know why Haley would get crushed in the Rust Belt? This and foreign policy. Voter support, fine. Get rid of that garbage tax cap on Social Security. Voters support stuff like that. People support, making sure wealthy people don't get Social Security. Okay, fine. Focus on, stuff like that. That's one thing. But the logic that Haley uses just I don't understand it. These maroons claim Social Security is running out in 10 years. So we're going to implement a policy that's going to take into effect 50 years from now. Does that make any sense to you? No, it doesn't. People are like, oh, bull crap. If you somehow get entitlement reform, you're talking about jacking up now. Because how can your reforms that are supposedly going to fix something 10 years from now be implemented 50 years down the line? It makes no sense. It's just common sense to think, oh, wait a minute. This is 30 years after Social Security is running out. Other reform is popular, but not that. And that's why people don't support it, because it's like, it makes absolutely no sense. Republicans don't know how to talk about it. It's stupid. Now, you had a lot of stuff about China, which was just really dumb. And I gotta give DeSantis credit, and Vivek. They hammered Haley on China. Because she let China acquire land in South Carolina. After she said, oh, I support, banning China from buying our U.S. land. When you were the governor just 10 years ago, you just let them buy land in South Carolina. And then she called China our great friend while serving as a UN ambassador. And then Haley just said, oh, well, that's because I did a good thing. It's like, so because I did one supposedly good thing, they're suddenly our best friend? Bullcrap. You're a globalist. Nobody wants to hear it. I'm glad DeSantis and Vivek called Haley out for her bullshit. And I forgot to mention DeSantis earlier. I think he did good compared to the other debates, but he still had a couple Homelander stares. I mean, that weird smile that Homelander has from The Boys. He had that a couple times last night. Hell, he did the pose as Homelander. Hands on the hips and stuff, just standing there. It's like, is this guy Homelander from The Boys? I don't know. Now, there's some stuff about Venezuela, which it's like, we're still talking about Venezuela. That's a major issue for the U.S. It's okay, they're going to try to cut oil ties to Venezuela. Fine. But then we get to the part of the debate that may go down in infamy. TikTok. I cannot believe I just said that, but it's true. For whatever reason, Nikki Haley attacked. This situation's bizarre. Let's just read it. The debate took a pretty nasty turn when the topic shifted to TikTok and whether it should be banned in the US because of its Chinese ownership. Ramaswamy accused Haley of hypocrisy for criticizing him for being on the platform when his daughter is as well. Yeah, so Haley's daughter uses TikTok like daily, but she attacks Vivek for using it. In the last debate, Haley made fun of me for actually joining TikTok. Ramaswamy said her own daughter was actually using the app for a long time. And Haley said, oh, you can't, it's a personal attack against my daughter. You're just scum. What? You're just scum for calling out your bullcrap? You attack Vivek for, I disagree with it, but at least I understand where he's coming from. Despite the platform being bad, we had to bring some alternative media to TikTok. I hate to say it, but it's true. Because that's where all the young voters get their freaking news from now. And she attacks him. Oh, don't put my daughter in your mouth, you scum. I'm not going to say it. I was about to, but I don't get it. What did Vivek say that was wrong? Nothing. She's just mad that she got called out for a bullcrap. Now on Ukraine, I give props to DeSantis and Vivek. DeSantis even flat out said, this war needs to end. Now, I think he may have just copied that from Trump, but I'll give DeSantis credit. We need to bring this war to an end, said DeSantis. The U.S. needs to focus more on other priorities, including the southern border, he added. We need the Europeans to step up and do their fair share. We need to get serious about this threat this country faces, which is the Chinese Communist Party. Yeah, it's like DeSantis run a bad campaign, but I'll give him credit. That was a good response, saying this needs to stop. The killing needs to stop, which is just copying Trump, but at least he's finally understanding it. Now, Tim Scott may have made the blunder of the night in it. I don't think it says it here, but when you read what Tim Scott said about Iran, we need to strike Iran. It doesn't say it here, but I don't think he actually meant it, but I heard it. Everybody else in chats heard the same thing, like, wait, you said what about Iran? We gotta strike them? And then the same thing with Nikki Haley. We need to bomb Iran, or at least get involved over there. We need to strike them. I don't care who you are. I will not vote for Nikki Haley next year if she's the nominee. Because this is why. Or Tim Scott, I think he made a blunder, but fine. But Nikki Haley, I think she legitimately wants World War III. I'm gonna strike Iran if I become president. I'm gonna start a war with Russia and Iran and China. I will not vote for Nikki Haley if she somehow stumbled her way to the nomination. I will not. Because when you just hear what they're saying about Iran, you're just going to start another war. Now, Ramaswamy, this guy really doesn't care what anybody else thinks. He called Nikki Haley Dick Cheney in 3-inch heels. Hell, he even said there was 2 people on the debate stage that wore heels. He's talking with DeSantis, by the way. I mean, this is why people like DeSantis for... this is why people like Ramaswamy, I should say. He calls out people's bullcrap and the stupidest things like DeSantis' boot thing, which is like, I don't really care, but it's like, why are you wearing boots that make you 5 inches taller or whatever? And Haley gave a weird response on Twitter saying, for ammunition, that's why she wears it. Okay. Now, the rest of the debate, you had Israel. Everyone basically gave the same response. But even Ramaswamy gave something different. He said, look, we should give them the full right to strike Hamas. But that doesn't mean we should be sending our sons and daughters to die over there. I agree with it. You should not be sending our soldiers over to the Middle East to die. I support Israel, but that's not the point. We should be backing Israel, but not like that. And the final part of the debate, or actually the first part, Ramaswamy went off on Ronna McDaniel. He's the first one to say it. Ronna needs to go. She has spent $10 million, I'm maybe exaggerating, but I wouldn't be shocked, on her Botox, on freaking hairdos, I don't freaking know. But Ronna's wasted millions of dollars on herself. She's been incompetent, and in fact, she made a blunder last night. She attacked Ramaswamy after the debate saying, we're not giving you a cent if you're the nominee. Which breaks a sacred rule in the RNC saying the RNC chair is not supposed to get involved in primaries like this. Especially when it's quote-unquote competitive. You're not supposed to. And she openly said, we're not going to help you. You're an asshole or something. It's like, wait a minute. And you booed him when he attacked Haley? It's like, you're the RNC chair. You're supposed to be neutral. Wait a second here. But it's a mess. It shows that the RNC is a joke. What do they even do? Seriously, what does the RNC do? Lose elections for us. And Ramaswamy finally called them out for it. Even DeSantis said, we're sick of losing, but he attacks Trump for it, which is like, why? But either way, folks, that debate was awful. Ramaswamy was the only good candidate. DeSantis and even Christie were decent. But Haley and Scott I would still vote for. I think he tripped on his own words. He did that a lot last night. But Haley, I will not vote for her if she's the nominee. I will write in somebody, or I would vote in RFK. I'm not a big fan of RFK. I still think he's a good guy, but I don't trust him on a lot of issues. But he's the only guy that wouldn't get us involved in World War III. Nikki Haley would. She would start a war in Iran. I don't care what people say. Oh, well, Trump did it. He never directly struck Iran, and that's what she's threatening to do. But anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.